The National Football League, or NFL, is one of the most popular and successful sports leagues in the world, with a long and storied history. However, the league has also faced its fair share of controversies over the years, ranging from allegations of cheating and misconduct to issues of player safety and labor disputes. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the biggest controversies that have plagued the NFL throughout its history, starting with Deflategate. The scandal known as Deflategate unfolded in 2015 after it was discovered that the footballs used in the AFC Championship game between the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts were underinflated. DeQuell Jackson, a defensive back for the Colts, noticed that the ball didn't appear to have enough air in it after Patriots quarterback Tom Brady threw a pass that was intercepted by him. The Colts informed the NFL about the issue, which prompted the league to launch an investigation. The National Football League has retained the services of private investigator Ted Wells to look into the matter. According to the information provided by Wells in his report, it is more probable than not that members of the Patriots organization, including Tom Brady, were involved in a plot to deflate the footballs. According to the report, the footballs were probably deflated to give Tom Brady an advantage during the game. This is because underinflated balls are easier to grip and throw than fully inflated balls. As a result of the investigation, Tom Brady was given a suspension that would last for 4 games. The Patriots were fined $1 million and they dropped 2 spots in the draft. Brady challenged the suspension in federal court, which is where the case ultimately ended up being heard. Although the legal battle dragged on for years and became one of the most talked about scandals in NFL history, in the end, the suspension was upheld. The scandal known as Deflategate had a significant and long-lasting impact on both the NFL and the Patriots. Many football fans and sports commentators have cast doubt on the championships won by the New England Patriots, as well as on the legacies of quarterback Tom Brady and head coach Bill Belichick. Additionally, as a result of this, the league's regulations and policies regarding the handling of game balls and other pieces of equipment were scrutinized more thoroughly. Next, Spygate. When it was discovered that the New England Patriots had been recording the defensive signals of the New York Jets during a regular season game in 2007, the scandal known as Spygate became a major topic of discussion. An employee for the Jets noticed a video assistant for the Patriots filming the defensive signals that the Jets were using from a location that wasn't permitted. This was the method that was used to capture the Patriots. Following an investigation, the National Football League determined that the Patriots had violated league rules by filming the signals by the coaches of opposing teams. Because of this, the team was penalized with a first-round draft pick and a fine of $500,000 by the league. The head coach, Bill Belichick, was also penalized with a $500,000 fine. This was the highest fine ever levied against a coach in the annals of the league at the time it was handed down. The scandal known as Spygate had a significant and long-lasting impact on both the Patriots and the league. There was a lot of skepticism among fans and experts regarding the veracity of the Patriots' Super Bowl victories, as well as Belichick and the rest of the team. It also meant that the rules and procedures of the league for how to handle game footage and other information were scrutinized to a greater extent. The Patriots continued to perform admirably on the field despite all of the difficulties they were facing. They went on to win 3 more Super Bowls after the Spygate scandal. However, the team has been involved in other scandals, such as the Deflategate scandal, which has damaged the team's reputation even further and caused people to pay even closer attention to what the team does. Bountygate. When it was discovered in 2012 that the New Orleans Saints had a program in which players were paid to hurt other teams, the scandal, known as Bountygate, became a major topic of discussion. The program was directed by Greg Williams, who also served as the defensive coordinator. If a player was able to knock out an opponent with a particularly ferocious blow, they were rewarded with a bonus. After conducting an investigation, the National Football League determined that the Saints had violated league rules by providing players with financial incentives to injure other teams. As a consequence of this, a number of players were given suspensions, and Williams received a lifetime ban from the sport. In addition, the team was required to pay a fine of $500,000 and lost 2 draft picks in the second round as a consequence of their actions. The Bountygate scandal had a significant impact on the Saints, and as a result, the team struggled to perform well on the field in the years that followed. It also resulted in an increase in the amount of attention paid to player safety and the use of drugs in the league in order to improve performance. Because of the Bounty program, the Saints had to deal with a number of legal issues on top of the suspensions and fines that were handed out to them. In 2013, a number of former players filed a lawsuit against the team, claiming that the bounty program had harmed them in some way. Even though the lawsuit was resolved in the end, it was a source of significant stress for both the team and the league. Ray Rice domestic violence incident. The running back for the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Rice, was caught on video in 2014 punching his then-fiancée, Janae Palmer, while they were in an elevator at a casino in Atlantic City. This resulted in a great deal of trouble and became known as the Ray Rice domestic violence incident. After the incident in February 2014, Rice was arrested and charged with assault as a result of the events that transpired. The video of what took place was not made available to the general public until September 2014, when it was uploaded to the website TMZ. The video incited a great deal of ire among a large number of people, which resulted in the Ravens dismissing Rice from the team and the NFL banning him for life. The incident sparked a larger conversation about domestic violence in the NFL, which led to the league implementing a new policy on domestic violence that included stricter punishments for players involved in incidents of a similar nature as the one that sparked the conversation. Rice filed an appeal against his suspension, and the league ultimately decided to reinstate him. However, ever since the incident, Rice has not participated in any NFL games. Ray Rice, who was once a very respected player, had his reputation severely damaged as a result of the domestic violence case that he was involved in, and it had a significant impact on the league as a whole. Additionally, it drew attention to the issue of domestic violence and the necessity for the National Football League and other sports leagues to take a more forceful stance on the matter. National Anthem protest. The protests during the playing of the national anthem in the National Football League were a series of demonstrations that began in 2016 when Colin Kaepernick, a player for the San Francisco 49ers, began kneeling during the playing of the anthem in order to express his disapproval of racial inequality. As soon as one player began to demonstrate during the playing of the national anthem, other players quickly followed suit by kneeling or raising their fists in solidarity. Regarding the demonstrations, individuals had a variety of reactions. There were those who believed that the players had the right to protest, but there were also people who believed the protests were disrespectful to the military and the flag. President Donald Trump voiced his opinion on the matter during the 2017 season and urged owners of NFL teams to fire players who kneeled or otherwise demonstrated during the playing of the national anthem. Because of this, the debate became even more contentious. The demonstrations by NFL players during the playing of the national anthem sparked a wider discussion about issues of racial equality and the right to free speech. Others have argued that the protests are not patriotic, despite the fact that others have argued that they are important forms of social activism. The protests caused division not only among the players and coaches, but also among the fans. Protests were supported by some people, while others felt that they were disrespectful to the country and didn't support it. The demonstrations were eventually put to an end, and in 2018, the National Football League announced a new rule that stipulates players must either stand during the playing of the national anthem or remain in the locker room. After some time, the rule was altered so that players who did not wish to stand for the anthem could remain in the locker room instead of participating in the ceremony. Concussions and player safety. In recent years, two of the most pressing issues facing the National Football League, or the NFL, have been concussions and player safety. The problem came to a lot of people's attention at the beginning of the 2010s, when a few former players filed a lawsuit against the league for the way it handled concussions and other head injuries. According to the allegations made in the lawsuits, the National Football League did not adequately protect its players from the long-term effects of head injuries and did not adequately educate its players about the dangers of concussions. According to the players, the league had downplayed the seriousness of concussions and did not provide sufficient medical attention to players who had sustained head injuries. Because of the lawsuits, the National Football League reached a settlement with the players in the year 2013. They committed to making a payment of a total of $765 million to cover the cost of medical care and other expenses associated with head injuries. The league was not found to have committed any wrongdoing, as stated in the settlement. The National Football League has maintained a significant amount of concern regarding player safety and concussions. The league has made a number of rule changes in addition to taking other preventative measures to lessen the likelihood of players suffering head injuries. The league has also invested a significant amount of money into research on concussions and other head injuries in order to gain a better understanding of how these injuries can be avoided and what kind of long-term effects they may have. From Deflategate to kneeling protest, the NFL has faced its fair share of controversies over the years. Well, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, cheers!